At the big hits. It's going to be a difficult ask for them, so I'm putting a lot of attention on that.
Yeah, exactly. And 3 out of 3 maps, PRX is going to be starting on the attack. On the first one, it was definitely what gave them the win and the room to have that comfort. But on the second one, it wasn't like that. So let's see what this map takes us.
Can Edward finally game his way to a victory over PRX, or will W Gaming reign supreme? Let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom.
That's silly.
Well, Tom, it's time to find out the answer to that question. EDG, they've tried 3 times, they've failed 3 times, but the 4th, it's looking better. We're on map 3.
It's in the name, though. W Gaming. They don't lose. That's the problem. I don't know. The thing is, this composition is one we've now seen a couple of times. The surprise factor is gone. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to deal with it. It's very, very difficult. And these are also agents where I think, like, one of the best jets in the world. Forsaken, personal opinion, best Euro in the world. It's so difficult to play against the chaos that is created by this side. And that's the storm that's going to have to be weathered. The fun thing about this as well is, in my opinion, both teams have started on their better side of this map. So it's going to be... the first half might actually decide it.
Well, that's it. And for PRX, they'll be happy with this attacking side, as they're already set up to move towards this A site. You can see there's a wall in play. It's going to be popped up, but the main thing drawing my eye is Forsaken. He's got himself a TP moving right up close, where he's already looking to get in towards screens, and, well, some trouble's brewing. He's got the first, but the site control stays to EDG. They've got the spike, and Khan, he's only good for 2, but it might be enough. The advantage is theirs, and a pick needs to be found soon from the side of PRX. Leaving Mindfreak alone, though, isn't the best of looks. That spike's down on site, and he's got 3 players to pick off. No from the shadows either.
That'd be impressive.
Yeah.
I think the
orbs.
whole team would have to be dead.
And then some.
Here we go. Just hoping to try and find an isolated duel, and it isn't going to be happening. EDG, they're off the mark. And doing well as well. I like the fact that you almost see that PRX are doing this blitz player. I think they almost expected there to be no one on site, because they had multiple players trying to fight through in towards screens, and it almost seemed like they forgot that Khan could be and was within the site. So off to a flyer. Good start from individually. He's had, well, not the best first map, an okay second. If this is where Khan comes online, they'll be happy.
Yeah, just in the nick of time, right? And you can understand why they don't expect him to be on site, giving him that opportunity. They saw 2 players' screens. Those players seem to be panicking to get back in. Okay, How Dong headbutt the nade to start this one off. But he's staying close on B. Fight around mid. 3 players from EDG want to maintain that control, and the lurk of something is left to try and pick them off when they do. Khan walking down, but he's patient. Just wants to tuck up on the box, spotted. Nade will cover his retreat, you'd imagine. He sticks around for the kill instead, not worried about the numbers that could be rounding the corner. When he gets out, it's Smoggy that's left in the open trying to cover his retreat.
They do have to be a little bit careful here, but this is just his chance to farm, get ever closer to that ultimate. Don't think that's the gun that something's looking for, and even just an extra player being dropped here could cause a few issues going into the next round. You can see a much more passive sort of crossfire, just waiting to almost pop up that ladder to fight that one together. It's available for nobody on the rotate as well, and EDG, they'll convert, pick up a couple of the guns as well.
Yeah, it's nice. They came in with 2 pistols, I think. It's why you see Smoggy play ahead of that. He literally is covering the retreat. He can maybe pick off one with the pistol. If not, he loses a pistol. It really is not the end of the world. For EDG, I mean, a flyer of a start with 5 kills on Khan. The rifles on the side of PRX will be facing off against what was one of the more terrifying buys that EDG pulled out. Once they've got these pistols up against rifles, their win rate has been insane. And some very important rounds as well. Mindfreak stunned up and tucked in the corner. And there's no free way for him to get out. I mean, he can use his abilities often, but not this time. There's none online, no shrouded step. And there's a one-way that's probably being held. He's just trapped for now.
Forsaken may just look to try and actually retreat and get an orb here. 1 off that dimensional drift. I think that's probably the scariest thing with this PRX comp is they've got so much value when it comes to those ultimates. It can almost help the individuals on the other side. Again, this A take. There is a quick wraparound, though. They've got to be wary of Nobody looking to try and come in on the flank. This is a round where, as well, EDG, they can afford to take some risks with the weaponry that they've got. Monyet, though, this might be a nasty surprise, but never mind. Chichu's found him, and I don't think they're going to expect nobody in the corner. No, it's half-checked as well. This is going great for EDG.
It was. It really was, and it's back to going great. Nobody with 3 kills, and now it's just one standing. 10 bullets, and it's only 1 needed for Smoggy. EDG absolutely decimate PRX in round 3, and well, Tom, I hate to say I told you so, but this is just, it's happening too often now. The value they find with pistols is frankly unreal. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, nobody had 1 kill for most of it. He finished on 2?
Kills. He finished on 2.
He finished on 2.
He's got 3 times more kills already in
well,
this
even
map.
that, in that round, he got more kills than the last map alone. Unbelievable. Look at this.
It's a half check as well. Like, that's the thing. I just feel like they get tunnel visioned in. The lineup of a Spectre and for Alex, it's just got to be so infuriating. His team put in a decent position and just maybe overextending. Now they come in, they purchased again. They're still going in for more. The dimensional drift will give them the space, but they've been given the space. You can see on the other side, EDG nowhere near this one. I don't think Forsaken's going to go too much further than that, but with a judge in hand, he's almost just trying to play with his opponents here.
Well, pressure's on EDG on the way back through, and it's off EDG just that quickly. Con, I don't know where this guy was the last 2 maps, but he certainly turned up today. 3 kills already, and well, it doesn't look too good for PRX. You might think this is an E-goal, but it's not. The weaker weapon on Forsaken, good for 2. Maybe more to be found, but nobody low. He's 90 HP, finding another 3. For Forsaken, an ace to put in the first round on the board for PRX. Unbelievable.
Play of the tournament might be done. Play of the tournament might be over. I can't believe.
I feel like I'm gonna cry.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. 2 kills at the judge, and then just manages to isolate every single fight.
That literally brought a tear to my eye, Tom. I had to wipe that one away.
I'm flabbergasted by this guy on a regular basis, but that is truly one of the greatest plays we've ever seen, and no surprise. PRX is taking a pause. Alex has probably got a hole in his desk at this point, be it in anger or celebration, who knows. And on the other side of things, EDG are just going to be left to stew in that one. A 1v5 ace to get their first round on the board.
I feel like the only appropriate thing is to replay Brand's desk from earlier.
Just shoot him in the face. Just shoot him in the face.
What a round.
I was thinking earlier in the round, like, it's really curious that with a judge, he gave up that control. Because he took screens. They had a smoke down, he was within it. I was like, oh, he gives up the control. That's really interesting. I don't think anybody saw that one coming.
That's the thing. Not only a 1v5, a 1v5 ace with a judge, where they're all pushing in to cover that one angle. That's all they were worried about was elbow. They had everything else. I mean, taking your breath away. This is another level. 7 kills for Forsaken, 5 of them in the previous round. And as we come into round number 5, EDG still lead by 2, still have a decent amount of money. There's some weaknesses there, but nobody is showing up. That's something down right away. One of the duelists dealt with. And Con, you can see he's feeling confident.
Yeah, they're right back on the horse. It doesn't look like they've let that get to them whatsoever. Forsaken's been revealed by the Seekers as well. Looking for some more shenanigans, and in the 2v4, they're going to pop the Viper's Pit. They need Forsaken to do something, and now Devi, well, it's not quite 5, but he needs to do it all.
At least he's got the pit to work with, but back-to-back, these kind of clutches surely can't be happening. Too many players, too many guns. This time they will find it. EDG, a 4th round on the board with the defuse coming through. Passive play around A seems to be working in the early rounds. And Nobody as well. A really impressive resurgence from the previous map. I think his comfort level on Sky is definitely up there, but most of it doesn't seem to be anything to do with the agent itself. And the thing that's worth noting is, I believe Mindfreak was 1 HP, 1 hit, for not one exactly, but 1 hit when that first pelt subsided. Could very well have been the double kill. EDG are getting hyped up, and with a 3-round lead and the economy of PRX completely destroyed, there's a good reason for them to be excited.
Yeah, they've got 1 round. It was all Forsaken. Other than that, they didn't have any players surviving. And thus the economy is completely in the bin. You can see just the sheer confidence of nobody on this map. Aggressive angles being taken. TP into the site once more. And an afterplant will ensue, but they are so happy to play in these retakes. And almost the initial kill. It does come in elsewhere.
Again, PRX are always going to want to play aggressive in these positions, pull the numbers into their favor, get some of those rifles out of the hands of their opponents. And the paint shell found its mark on the low HP Munyet. This has left Devi alone, and he's being watched. You know, it's an ambitious thing to try and flank Howdong. He's never going to let that happen. But of course, it was Con to find the kill, a showstopper and a Rolling Thunder online for EDG, moving into round number 6. This was a great farming round for this squad. And now the PRX come in with rifles. There's a lot for the side of EDG to fall back on if they do lose those opening duels.
Yeah, I think this is the thing now. EDG have done amazingly well to not play PRX at their own game. They're not giving them those early fights. They're not giving them any battles that don't have the opportunity for a trade. Supportive flashes from the likes of Smoggy have been fantastic as well. And PRX is rinse and repeat. If at first you don't succeed, try again, because they're heading back into this A site once more.
Hey, look, they got the ult again, why not? And it's actually
He's got a judge again as well.
It's, well, now it's dangerous. It's only going to be used to clear the site, get the spike plant. Good timing. Chichu in trouble now. The showstoppers found him. But it's only trading out the kill from Smoggy. He's had some impressive rounds of his own. A good shot, but it's traded again from the grave. Con takes down Mindfreak. Low HP on Munyet. Nade still to work with. And Forsaken in a nasty spot, ready to play with that judge from down below. But he's worried now because the A site is being lost. They're going to swing in, and he's only got a classic closing the distance on the back of the smoke. He's evaded their detection, and he's up close with a judge. Forsaken buying them time and space, but now he's dropped. And the low HP Munyet is last alive. Nade buys time, runs that clock down lower. And nobody has nowhere near enough time to get the defuse in. 2 rounds for PRX, and a lot of damage done to EDG's economy. They've got decent credits left.
Yeah, no, the damage isn't done to EDG's economy at all. It's done to PRX's. They've won a round with 0 players surviving, so they're still in, well, right in the thick of it.
Bladestorm, though.
Yeah, it's going to pad the gap a little bit, but if they lose this next round, they're completely in the bin. They are not out of the woods just yet. And if we've seen anything thus far this game, it's that it's been blips for EDG and then an instant resurgence. They've been fantastic in a lot of those retakes. I think a couple of duels not going their way, the showstopper as well. So we finally see a hit towards this B site. The early flash is already going to give that information over to nobody, and the cavalry is full sprint. I think after he slowed them down, they've decided to go back.
Look at that damage. Munyet's down to 50 on just the straight spam through those smokes. Mindfreak already dropped. That's a lot lost in terms of sight coverage, blocking off angles, paranoia out of the game. And for PRX, with Munyet low, Devi, he's got a chance to do something. And it's actually something to find that onto Chichu, but when he's dropped, it's Devi alone on the other side of the map. Maybe he had a chance to get something done if they were able to plant that spike, if they were able to keep eyes towards B main. Instead, yeah, this might even be a better clutch than what we saw from Forsaken.
I don't know if that exists.
It's true.
I'll be honest with you.
So much utility, though, and they're not in a rush on EDG. That's a big difference.
No, it would take equally the amount of hero power, and they're already just watching. They're ready and waiting. Not going to let that happen twice. It's going to be another round for EDG. And as said, it's an instant resurgence once more. It's an attempted fast-paced play. I think EDG have done fantastically well to not go in for those early fights. They're happy to sit back. They're happy to sit in their crossfires. And when the opening kills aren't going the way of PRX, when advantages can't be garnered, it's just not going their way.
Oh, you don't see Alex getting heated like that very often.
Really?
Well, last year he didn't. They were always winning.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think he was angry even when they were winning.
Yeah? Behind the scenes, he's a pretty chill guy, but I guess you put him in on the server, it's a different story.
Oh, he's up there with Barber. The second you get him in that room with a desk and a monitor watching PRX, it's like, right, well, the desk's getting hurt.
Yeah. Well,
the desk of Alex's desk has his own Twitter account. You know that, right? Because of how much damage he does to it.
Oh, I see. No, I've evaded that somehow. Talked to Alex a lot behind the scenes, and that's the same as Barbar, right? They're super chill guys to chat to, and then the game starts.
Wouldn't you be like this when watching your team run a triple duelist comp and get the plant down every round?
You know what? Probably. It's a very frustrating thing, but when you look at EDG right now, like nobody, I cannot stress it enough. This guy had 2 kills last map. I'll say he had some great assists, good recons that won them a bunch of rounds, like Monyet, I think even popped his ult once, got reconned and taken down. But whatever about the utility, he's 14 and 2. Like, it's just completely shutting them down. Howdong's not being able to get behind them this time. He doesn't bloody need to. It's defense as well. Wait till the attack.
Yeah, you're seeing the flexibility, a completely different role for either player and completely different results, but ultimately they're in the lead. That's a good start though. Forsaken again, he has been really the one shining light this team has had so far. Something taking the space, a hero rifle now in his hand. And this time they are playing slightly more aggressively. They're giving opportunities. That might be a mistake.
Device flank this time, not gonna...
Oh no!
No, I wish I didn't see that. Well, it wasn't as late as before, but it was just as successful. At least the trade is found, and we're left into a 2 versus 4 with weaker weapons for PRX. This is something way beyond what you could have expected. Forsaken has ult to work with. If they need the information, and more likely, it's just about winning those duels. Both players very isolated and spotted. They know where these EDG players are, and on the side of PRX, that's going to let them group up. A brave play from something that didn't quite work out, but he's got plenty of teammates there to catch the ball when it's fumbled. 6-3. PRX, they're on the board. But it's been back and forth, and if it keeps up that way, EDG going to be very happy.
This is the thing, the MasterCard Thrifty almost comes purely off the back of Forsaken again. Like, just 2 entries into the site, a little bit of an overpeak through the smoke as well. I think this is one of the times you can sort of go the opposite of what we've seen from EDG so far. They've been very happy to give up control and then retake. This time, 2 players went for slightly more... Well, actually, the TP into B main was very aggressive.
Yeah.
And they got punished for it. That's not how you want to play against this PRX.
Oh, nearsighted, but he's got a close-range gun. Kankan, good to find one. And the heal is coming right on through, so it's only the shields that he's lost. A fantastic start, again, for that side of EDG. Although Smoggy does go down, the B site's open, and they've bypassed the Viper's pit. This could become a problem.
Forsaken's already taken full control as well towards the spawn. A massive flank as well from Devi. He's got to get a move on eventually, as that retake will be beginning, but if his teammates can buy enough time and something on that aggressive AWP, always a problem. Leaving things now with an advantage for that attack side. Chichu needs to try and choose his moment to find some space back in for a team. And actually, nobody's still very, very far away from this. Chichu eventually pounces, but he's got no support. No teammate to be had. The flank eventually starting its way back around. He's going to have to pull off something ridiculous here and definitely not jump in the face of your opponent. I believe that's a mouse wheel. Nobody now has no time, no opportunity to turn this one back around. He's at least making it incredibly costly once again, but he will be forced to retreat and save.
Firing on a whole different cylinder than what we saw before. You know, you say that might be a mouse wheel. Either that or they've been watching Vitality VODs. I'm not sure.
Shout out Sender.
that little bunny hop spray. If you weren't watching EMEA, it's worth a watch back. It was a fun one. Yeah, it didn't work out as well for Chichu. Of course not. I'm not even joking. It is of course just a mouse wheel, just an unlucky mechanical failure.
Spacebar gang.
Exactly. My spacebar is to crouch, but we don't need to talk about that.
No, we don't.
6-4. EDG. Some ultis to work with as well. This could help out. Seekers from nobody. grab that info late round, but it looks like they might be getting something early round. EDG pushing up close, stun being held, but the shot lands a little too quickly. And now there's an isolated breach on this site. Smoggy is going to be feeling lonely for a while. Con a little too far away. Smoggy's going to have to hold this all by himself, and he peeks in just at the right time to grab two. They're back in contention, and now Con's here. No room for PRX on the site. With Munyet on 70 and the spike in the open, this is going to be a very difficult clutch, and he's found the first.
That's risky. Chichu goes peeking in. Howdong's able to close the distance. As you said, he's had a quiet game so far. Showstopper online, but with half HP, might not be worth popping. Munyet just trying to isolate the angle, find out where his opponent is, and now just standing with rocket in hand, not quite knowing where his opponent's currently coming from. It is a TP into the side, and Howdong eventually gets the job done. Plenty of time left on the clock, and EDG are going to increase that lead to a half victory.
That was actually really impressive that I didn't see the showstopper just shot at the floor right after the paranoia came through. I think Howdong repositioned perfectly. He couldn't have played that any better. And in fact, I think with most players, he would have baited that showstopper out and left them in a very tough position. Con dropping the spike, buying the time, and setting them up for that success. Howdong finally having his round. This is 7-4 for the side of EDG. Map 3, a long and hard-fought series. And this half is going to come to a conclusion. Is it 8-4 or 7-5 for PRX? That's going to make a hell of a big difference.
Oh, the initial pace is there again, but it's meant to be a ruse. Thing is that fake has not been sold. I think they were hoping that Munyet would at least do a little bit, get something from it, but a showstopper straight at his feet. The rest of the team looking to go in. That's a flash, a blind, completely left in the dark here as Howdong now looks to come alive. He's had a quiet start, but the close to the half might be exactly what they need. Mindfreak has made some space, but, well, he's going to need quite a bit more from this one. Another 1v5 needed, and it isn't going to happen twice. 8-4, EDG, again, showing they can go toe-to-toe with PRX, and this might be the best chance they've ever had to beat them.
Absolutely. 3 times they failed, 4th time lucky by the things we're seeing. You got to remember, Tom, you opened this up by talking about how we started on the better half for both of these teams, and EDG have certainly come out on top, double the rounds of their opponent. And they've already shown us they've got what it takes. The momentum is high on their side, and the hope's even higher for EDG to finally best PRX on the international stage. Let's toss it over to the desk to get their thoughts.
Only a few rounds away for EDG, but for PRX, they're a team that you simply just can't count out quite yet. That being said, though, EDG really looking to just close this one here with a decisive finish, Kukuka.
Finally, after 4 times, this might be the time that EDG is going to close it. And the way that they're doing it, it has us very surprised. Can coming alive there in this last map. But actually, it's the protocols and how well studied they have the map and the effect that PRX composition is going to have onto it, right, Brand?
Yeah, they've had some amazing answers, I think, for these big A hits, which is the bread and butter of PRX when they're running this comp and this map. Their attack side is what's looked always better, but like I said, it's the protocols. EDG here, taking their time, making sure they hold on to ramp control. Nobody being a difference maker here in this particular instance for the bonus round conversion. And then multiple rounds after this as well, always having the right ideas in mind to either play the full retake, like this, the flash peek coming in, just making sure that they fight for that heaven control, while the plan's still going down, so they're making sure they hold on to that crucial positioning. And even later than that as well, playing for the flood defense or playing for the hard anchoring positions. They always had the right answer for what was being thrown at them. And it just shows to me clear preparation, I think. You understand what the weaknesses of this comp were. It was one of my concerns, I think, for PRX. I was constantly talking about how weak their map pool could potentially be, and Split was the one that I was putting a focus on it on, because you can't just replace the Yoru with a Sky and expect it to work to fruition. You're going to have weaknesses, in particular, trying to fight in instances like this and really just... Yeah, I think EDG, you can tell from this, they've done their homework.
Yeah, exactly, and you need to think about PRX. Now they're going into their defense half, and we need to think that they're coming to this event, the ones with the worst retake percentage. They're not going to be able to do the same as EDG did in this half.
Yeah, and that is going to be quite scary for PRX. Can they find that next gear? They're going to need to, or else this match is done and dusted. Let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much to our wonderful analyst desk one last time in this series, because We're into the last half, Tom. We've gone the distance. And PRX have now found themselves quite a distance behind their opponents. EDG on the attack side with a very quickened pace, and the A side is their target. It's wide open for PRX with just Devi holding it. He's got a wall, though, to play back in.
Well, PRX, for the most part, they've been good in their pistols. Didn't go great in the last half, but we'll see if they can get this one over the line. Already losing the control of the site, and nobody is not going to allow any shenanigans from the TP of Forsaken. Now, they do have a quick flank. They're ready to sort of surround their opponents, but with something already going down, I believe that was through the smoke. That is not the start PRX were looking for.
Nice fake by Forsaken as well. He put his TP down, faked it out, and nobody's gone looking for him. Well, much to his surprise, the player was still there. Oh, no! The martyrdom comes into effect, and EDG now stand with a very good chance. Low HP on a few players, though, on both of them. In fact, the Mindfreak capitalizes. The first is his, and 20 HP left on Smoggy. A big play with the Frenzy is not going to happen. PRX have found the pistol, and this is a lifeline for the defense of PRX.
Yeah. We got him very quickly, but something I wanted to mention is you look at the last couple of times that PRX have played this map with this comp, they had 8-4 attack sides. So for the majority, they were really putting up numbers in that first half. We had high expectations for it, and as it was mentioned by us and the desk, it seemed like EDG weathered the storm, came prepared. And also, you've just seen the individuals shining. Khan 22-10, nobody 16-5. They've been on form. And some of the players on the other side have been a bit quiet. Something 5-12. On that Jet, that's a rarity. That's something you never really see from him. Now, he's got a chance to farm up some orbs here. Has himself that Outlaw. Of course, no shields on the other side, so should be a good chance for an immediate kill. Playing very aggressively around the orb. I don't know if he will have realized how far nobody has. Luckily, he has support. I'm also looking at Chichu.
Yeah, he has managed to sneak his way a little further than you'd expect. The downside of not playing with a dedicated Sentinel is that your back can sometimes be a little more open. It looks like Chichu is going to be cosplaying Haodong with a nice easy kill and a recovered weapon that makes everybody a one-hit. This, oh no.
He just wants to get rid of it.
Yeah, of course. Don't let them have it in the next. It's costly, but what a shame. He could have one-hit every single player, Tom.
Oh, and they're going to get it anyway. Yeah. A little bit unlucky, like both players close enough. But for PRX, that's kind of what you needed. Get yourself some of the weaponry through to the next round. Is Forsaken really going to go for an operator? This would definitely sort of pad the gap a little bit.
Split op and outlaw, Tom?
Hey, I'm not saying it's... No, I don't know.
Split,
genuinely.
op, outlaw, Bucky, Spectre, Bulldog. You know...
Brown win incoming.
Sometimes you just, you can't use your own logic because it ain't the same as theirs. Paranoia, nade, and play through him, and yet up close with a Bucky. Okay, this is great value for this weapon. A massively strong angle to play around, and one they're not likely to pop a close sky flash on all too often. The op not finding its mark.
But neither did the Outlaw.
To B. Look, A is very much open now, so is middle.
Yeah, they've lost something in a very audacious position. I imagine that was with the dash online. Forsaken is now in a good spot, but he's lost his life as well. This man just isn't missing at the moment. The main character of this matchup had a rough start to the series, but has come alive at the perfect time. Dominating, taking over, even with the heals to support him here. Devi under pressure, and he's going to go down to the same man as well.
What hope is there? A save is called as Munyet is retrieved the operator. He would very much like to have that expensive weapon in the next round, having invested so much. You see Forsaken's credits 350, and even that shot from Munyet, it's not as valuable as you think. It's a kill and a dent in the economy that is decently low for EDG. It helps to manage their money. The problem is they know where the op is now. Sure, it might not be back on B site, but they've cast a wide net, and as this round comes to a close, they'll look to close that net and catch him. It looks like they've done just about enough, and yeah, indeed. Oh, never mind! Munyet's got it! He's out! He's out! He was out! But he stayed around for another kill. I guess they might have caught him as he moved through spawn anyways, so it's not that he was guaranteed a free run. But that op is lost.
Yeah, and that is going to put a dent. It's going to be Forsaken who takes it. Like, they're going to just give him a stinger. Obviously, when you're playing that Yoru, you can take some risks, play some aggressive angles. But it's definitely not ideal, especially when he has been one of the major players in this game so far for PRX when they've had success. Monyet, showstopper online. Kanka, no surprise, his is one away. They're already going to just try and play with some of the sound cues. It doesn't seem like there's any real interest from PRX with those early initial sounds made. They've gone and taken the orb anyway.
Now, there was a player close, but he's TP'd out. I think they might even have heard that sound.
There's no one on the A side.
Yeah, it's wide open.
They're just playing into middle. I guess, again, with some slight vulnerabilities for the side of PRX, they're just willing to completely give that up. And with how the lurks have been, it's somewhat surprising, but it looks like they might actually get this spot on.
He comes in, Chichu's under pressure. You might think, but you would think wrong. That, I'd love to see Coach Alex's candor as that one comes in. Weapons picked up, they hear them backing off, the paranoia is there. And the flash out from Forsaken, he's not going to give it up. This is the right play. He wants to pull the advantage back into their hands. With the spike down, he sticks around after turn. Another huge round. He might not be alone, but he doesn't need backup. Not when he's playing like this. Mindfreak closes the round, and well, it was very close to being 2 aces for Forsaken. This man is single-handedly keeping the team in it.
Yeah, there have been multiple rounds now that, well, ironically have looked Forsaken, and somehow he's just managing to pull off play after play. He's been on this roster for a long time with many heroes arising. We saw the rise of Jing, Something, Monyet joining the team, and somehow this guy always still looks like the superstar. And what you can see for the other side, they've got to try and almost center themselves because it's just ridiculous. Bear in mind, he picked that rifle up off the corpse of a teammate midway through that battle. He only had a stinger to start the round.
And because of him picking up that rifle, his teammate died because they heard the sound cue and they swung it. Now, though, there's a little bit of a different approach from the side of EDG. Just shoot him in the head with Sheriffs, and it's worked out perfectly. 9-7, double digits on the line, and they have so much control. The ult is going to be used, finding out Chichu. Good flash, but no kill. 4 HP left, but it's enough. He's made it well. Oh! I thought he made it out. They pulled him right back in. Mindfreak, 1 versus 5. And if you thought this was the round we were going to look at when barriers went up, go get your head examined.
They've still got no weaponry.
No, they've picked one rifle.
They haven't managed to get any of the guns. It was just such an absurd round. And the thing is, that is Chichu now realizing how much space he can take. He walked straight into that A site. But I don't even think he broke stride the entirety of the round because of how PRX have been playing. And because of that, it ends up being their downfall. EDG consistently spotting the openings of their opponents. And it's been lurks on both of the maps that they've won. Haodong in the last map, and now Chichu doing the same on this one. It's a problem that PRX are gonna have when they run these sort of comps.
They came into this round up against an Eco on the side of PRX. They had full rifles. And the call in the end is to save before they even find a kill. 1 rifle that they get out of that situation. An utterly ridiculous, that also already done some damage to him, but he's quite low himself. And for PRX, yeah, that is very much what you expect to see. Disappointment and anger. As EDG have stolen this out from under PRX's nose. 3 rounds in the lead, and they need 3 to send PRX 0-1. You could have a PRX versus Loud game, and, well, Monyet doesn't want that.
No, no. It's the opening they've been looking for. Both teams have had mass success with weaker weaponry. And Chichu does have a Viper Spit. If they can get him into position, it could be problematic. Something, he's been spotted, but just runs away with the information. You can still see the Tiger being thrown out over on the A site. Information being garnered by EDG, and again, that walk up, but this time there are players there. Even the TP available onto site for Forsaken if he needs to go back and support. Instead, it's this fight, and again, Something has been having a rough time in individual battles, which is not something I thought I'd say today.
Well, even starting out the day, the first 2 maps, Concon had a pretty tough time in individual battles, but there's no signs remaining of that anymore. Lots of players from EDG ready to run into A site. That's going to be the Rolling Thunder. That's point of contact close. Already is Forsaken. And he's caught one, but he won't get out of there. The spray's too good. Quick rotate by Mindfreak straight into a stun. He's kept back for a moment, and that wall is buying space and time, but as they cross it, they're lower. Easier to take down! And Mindfreak catches all 3. PRX aren't giving this up just yet. The gap is down to 2.
Yeah, somehow. Somehow the gap is within touching distance for PRX with how things have gone. A solid start with the showstopper. I also like how we see Forsaken just delay that pop flash aggressive spot. It kept his teammate alive on the site. That surely would have been him going down with the Rolling Thunder. And that also bought time for Mindfreak to be able to TP to the other side of the map. So impact even without the numbers. Still though, economy on the brink. An aggressive push that has had very little success so far.
Oh, something's even going to give it up. You can see the respect being given to the side of EDG. Not by Forsaken, that's for sure. He's just swinging out looking for long-range battles. It's a decoy going through, and Chi-Chi's realized, oh, he was screens a second ago. I don't think he's up in heaven. The rotates are coming through, and they'll fight for heaven by the looks of things. I like this wall on A. Oh, no. Oh, it looks like I'm incorrect. There's going to instead be a bit of a poke by Concon up towards B first, and that is keeping players in position. Mindfreak's pushed up, 3 players towards B, and it's the fight on Concon that could decide it for Forsaken. If he loses control there, the panic, and they stay on B, but instead, the rotates are underway. And the A side is now definitely the target. The info is there, but Devi is so desperately low, he won't be able to hold on. And as they rush into the site, Concon realizes he might have the timing, but Forsaken realized that too.
Yeah, Viper's Pit, though, is definitely going to make things more interesting. Every player within it, at least for the moment. Heals available as well. Nobody won't be able to help himself, but he can help everybody else. Utility-wise, not a whole lot to play with, and that's not the start they were looking for. Every member falling. Forsaken again is going to have to ace it for them to take this round, and Haldong is ready and waiting as he looks to wrap back around. 11-8, lead extended once more. And now the problems really are there. Look at the economy for the side of PRX.
Yeah, this is crushing. If it was EDG, I'd be expecting us to see 11-10 on the board, but the thing is, it's not. PRX have struggled on some of the lower buys. EDG have been so disciplined is the main thing.
They did win one, and it was off Forsaken's double entry with a Sheriff. So, but that's the thing. I do feel like right now, even though like Mindfreak is up there, I feel like I'm just looking at him every round. I'm like, okay, can he give them something to play with? Because otherwise, I just don't see a way that through. And Mindfreak's already dead.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Smoke's down. No paranoia. Although it's often used off early contact, Forsaken is going down to take a close range fight.
No
His TP is to B, and he's out. It was just a quick recon jump. I like that for info, but the info, unfortunately, is that the stack on B is incorrect. The A site's under threat, and they're going to be very late to the party.
Yeah. He's got no flashes to play with, so it just has to be off raw skill, and this time, too many targets. Not going to be able to get anything, and just look how far the remaining players are. It might even be a scenario of just going down to the spike. The only thing against that is for something probably wanting to get that Blade Storm online.
Devi as well. You know, he's about to get the Viper's Pit into play. Could be huge for that defensive side to cut down an angle, especially like A main where they've been so quickly bypassed again and again. You can see he's going up to try and get something. He'll get an orb one way or another. And it looks like it's the other. Yeah, shot in the head. Something going up for the same. And it's just a formality at this point. Smoggy's picking them all up. The wall goes down, and here's the push. No kills for something. Blade Storm, Viper's Pit have been acquired by PRX, but the cost they paid is that EDG now have 4 chances to put them 0-1, put them up against possibly an FPX, the loser of the next series, or Loud.
Yeah, there's not great options. Even the loser of the next series just seems like a rough one.
You can say that again.
Hometown Heroes or the America's #1. I don't think it's a good look either way. It is brutal with 2 losses sending you out. And that's the thing, even if you win that first one, there's still a decider match. You're still going to have to play one of those upper bracket teams. For now, though, a little bit of extra pace thrown in from EDG. A chance they've never had before, a chance to close out a series versus PRX with 3 losses. I've heard 3 is the magic number. They're looking at 4. But there's a lot of ults online for their opponents right now. That is where PRX have done their best work.
And especially thinking about this A-site setup, if they play retake, Viper's Pit can get online using that wall to block a lot of the angles on the way back through, even towards elbow. And it is somewhat of a retake. Fight for heaven for sure. PRX want to keep control over that spot, as EDG will be pushing into it. Now, these are big players. Magnet's had a good game, but Forsaken, he rated his team at a 6 out of 10 right now. But he's been 10 out of 10 all damn day long. This map thriving. The challenge is about to come through. The flash has caught him, but he's turned, and it's nice. 2 quick kills, a decoy in, and a TP out. The advantage is extended even further as PRX look to put another round on the board. Buy a little more time. Forsaken, another 3K, another big play from this man, and he's waiting for his teammates to round the corner before he takes that fight. 3 more chances for EDG before they hit an overtime.
I've heard a strat back in the day, played by many a team.
What's that,
called
Tom?
Avoid CNED. And I think that they may need to try and incorporate that on the EDG side, because genuinely, Forsaken has been the one thorn in their side. They have looked like the better team throughout this map. A pistol either side, there's no excuses in that regard. Winning hero rounds, Kankan back online, nobody as well. There hasn't been a weak link, but when they run into Forsaken, wow, 9 times out of 10 they lose the round. He is the sole defender of this A site right now, with a little bit of support coming. Showstopper for Kankan could put the end to him, but it looks like he just wants to take a firefight.
Oh, they've cleared heaven, but look at the space taking by Munyet. It's perfect, but Kankan's ahead of him, finding the kill. Forsaken, flash to work with, TP towards screens. He's going to try to get the kill. No, in fact, he's not. The flash is just used as he falls further back, and now here comes the big old rocket. Forsaken's dodged it nicely. Spray good for something. The rolling thunder going up towards heaven. It's not caught the players, and the site is under threat. Something maneuvers around and jumps into Kankan. Eventually, he'll fall with Forsaken on another, and low HP on Smoggy. The spike on the A site, and a very tough one for them to retrieve. They don't know where that second player is, but they found him. It's all on Forsaken. 2 kills, but the spike is at his feet. He knows these players have to push him. The utility 2 flashes will now no longer